The more we learn, the sadder it becomes. The third time, they finally got him. Witness D apparently had survived 2 previous attempts on his life, further throwing doubt on the veracity of Justice Minister Mameloko Kubai's claim that Fandemeva declined witness protection. The more we hear about this story, the more information becomes available. It just becomes more tragic and sadder. After having given testimony, he was assassinated. Out of spite? What more could he possibly have divulged? Leslie McLean, the children's grandmother, described the assassination from her experience. She said, "My husband was watching TV in the bedroom when the incident happened. I was in the kitchen. Everything happened so fast. In a few seconds, it was quiet. We ran outside because Leanne was shouting, 'Daddy, Daddy, Marius has been shot.' As we approached the gate, she screamed, saying Marius is dead." Murdered in front of his wife and 2 young children. This couple had been together for 11 years. The assassins who took the life of a courageous South African robbed a woman of the love of her life and left 2 young children without a father. Marius Fandemeva, who unlike the cowards in Parliament stood up for right and wrong, would have turned 42 on December 20th. At the scene, apparently it took some time to move the children from the scene as the 8-year-old kept kneeling beside his father's body crying. Sadly, the list of assassinated witnesses, whistleblowers, investigators is getting longer. There needs to be far more effective measures in place to protect those being targeted by criminals. The current legislation governing witness protection is not adequate for the sheer volume of people who now require safeguarding, and the state simply does not have the resources to cope. Chad Thomas. I would add to it, it also doesn't have the will to cope. Too many powerful, influential people in politics, in government, are complicit in these crimes, and therefore they have no interest whatsoever in protecting the people who expose their criminality. And this is the root of the problem. Justice Minister Mameloko Kubai said Fandemeva had declined an offer of protection. Having said, "I did interact with Advocate Kumalo, who is responsible for the security of the Commission of Inquiry. The Mhlanga Commission, as we know it, did indicate to me that Mr. Fandemeva was offered protection, which he declined because he didn't think that he needed it and because he runs his own security company. But we've discovered, folks, that he was nearly assassinated twice previously, including a bullet that grazed his head after striking a rock just 2 weeks ago. We are in agreement that there is need for us to review how witnesses are testifying in the Mhlanga Commission following this incident, and also ensuring that the work is not compromised going forward." Well, the work has already been compromised, sir. It's already been compromised, and this never should have happened. The ineptitude, the incompetence of the Keystone Cop state of South Africa is beyond comparison. African National Congress Regional Secretary Jongwize Dalibati visited the home yesterday and said Fandemeva's testimony had been damning. "We view his assassination as calculated and attempt to remove him as a witness. His killing is a brutal attack on justice and the rule of law." Democratic Alliance's Member of Parliament and Shadow Minister of Police and Security Ian Cameron said, "A murder of this nature is not only an attack on a person, but also an attack on the integrity of processes that rely on people having the courage to come forward. We cannot allow a climate in which witnesses fear that stepping forward may cost them their lives. If individuals begin to doubt that the state can safeguard them, the entire chain of accountability is weakened." I'm sorry, MP Cameron, there is no accountability. There is no weakness. The chain is completely broken. No one is safe in South Africa, and certainly not whistleblowers and witnesses or investigators. We've seen those forensic investigators murdered for catching on to stories of criminals and trying to dissolve their criminal activity. We've seen people like Babito Deokaran, a courageous young woman who simply reported an anomaly, and for that her life was taken. And innocent victims who have nothing to do with any of this, simply targeted because people are dumb. These murderers are so stupid they kill the wrong person. Armand Swat was murdered because they thought he was a whistleblower in the Transnet scam, but he wasn't. Just a man out doing his job, and orphans left behind. Where is the capacity of the South African state to handle this? It appears to be non-existent, in no small measure because many of the actors that are necessary to protect these people are complicit in the crimes that are occurring. They are part and parcel of the rot. Deputy Police Chief Ekurhuleni Municipal Police Department, deeply involved in this. Ministers deeply involved in this. Allegations flying left and right. Well, there must be merit to it, or they wouldn't be murdering witnesses. The assassination of Witness D is a stark reminder for South Africans that no one is safe. I said this many, many years ago when Brett Kebble, a billionaire mining magnate tied closely to the ANC, was murdered in broad daylight in Sandton. I said, if they can kill someone like that, no one is safe in South Africa. And now, 15 years later, perhaps people are beginning to listen to me, that no one is safe in South Africa. The Tutsi run the country, not the police, not the Justice Department, not the ANC, but the gangsters. What say you, South Africa, Mzansi? What a tragic situation. On the heels of this, 12 people murdered in a mass shooting in a shebeen in Pretoria West. This is insanity. No other explanation.